We need to get ourselves on the board, and we need to be able to do it fast, quick, and we need to take the whole series. But for CEX right now, they've not started off well because they've lost the knife, and they're starting on the T side.
I mean, at the end of the brunt of the situation for CeX is they're playing about as well as I can iron a shirt. Which, if you see me on camera, you know that that's not looking too good. So, for them, this is go time. This is time to actually play some CSGO and get yourself going, because you're looking out of this grand final by a long shot. Let's see who can do the pistol round, though. It's going to be the CT side looking for a few swift one-taps here and there. No real map control to be garnered by the T side either. They're just kind of spread out in a standard default, looking to get themselves in the interior of Nuke. Astro is going to be the one man to potentially lead the charge here. He's rocking the raid boss strategy, minus the Kevlar, just the solitary Tech 9. But Tech 9 nonetheless is going to look to run and gun his opposition. Get himself that sweet, sweet frag and power.
And no defuse kit on the exceL-Point side, so this one could fall apart very quickly if they try to play retake. Already Sligger's going to get information, call it out. CEX, they're on their way to B. Time to rotate, guys. Come to vents, come to secret. Help me out here. Astro's going to play close range. Unfortunately, Jenko's going to catch him up before he makes any advantage of that particular point. And now it will be CEX trying to storm their way over towards Heaven. Here we go, LS, and he's going to get one, but JD is going to get traded out. Rezu gets Jenko, and now we're back to a 3-on-2 situation. Rezu and LS on the site now. Bomb will go down. Two angles that were coming in from him. Rezu will even things up, taking down Mighty Max. Fortunately, Sliggy is on his way from hell to heaven. See if he can spot out anybody. Just spot out LS, taps away. Isn't going to find all of it. Laza takes him down, and now it's up to Sliggy to finish things off, and will cut him down for the kill of the round, actually, the first round in the favor of exceL-Point. And already, like, we're seeing a very big repeat of what we've had for the past two maps.
It is just a pistol round, though, so at least it is just that pistol round per S. It's nothing too crazy, you know, the stars haven't aligned and written a message of exceL-Endpoint 16-0 nuke just yet. But I agree with the sentiment of, you know, it's already kind of go time CTs. Of course, CeX, they don't want to rush into this one with a huge force up or anything too willy-nilly. Instead, they are just going to try and rock it with their Glocks out, try and make the best of it with these smokes and get a bomb plant, really.
Yeah, of course, they got that bomb plant in the first round, which is going to enable them to buy in the third round if they do decide to go for it. In this case, it will just be the full eco. Like you say, no force buy from them. They are not exceL-Point. They will not take that strategy, so they will look for the AKs in round number 3. So far. Well, actually, they're doing a decent job of being able to get themselves over towards the site. Like you said, looking to get the bomb down, and that's the most that they will be trying to find here. Is already going to be Mighty Max getting some good damage with the grenade. Drops the bomb well as well with the SMG coming in. Finally, Jade is going to trade him out, but Jenko is already on rotation. Takes him down. Laza shuts him down. Rezu for the trade. LS now. Going to be lone man alive. 1 versus 3. We'll just tap, tap, tap away. Actually, almost takes down Steve, but not all of it in the end. 2-0. Favors the exceL-Endpoint side.
To be happy as anything about that one, of course, going into this third round now. This is where we get to see that quick response from the CeX side, the first kind of emergency response unit. But what's their game plan here? That's what I'm curious to see. Are we going to see just a standard default? You know, usually that's what you expect in the first Baron, right? You know, you see a team come into the server, they get a feel for their opposition, and then work out how they're going to kind of go from there. But I feel like for CeX, they don't really need that. They already know how exceL-Point they're going to play. It's going to be flat-out aggression, no holds barred, ball sort of wall, we're pushing you and you've got nothing to stop us. You know, already look at that UMP just diving around those corners.
Early tag damage against the exceL-Point side. Laza, 43 HP. He has to force himself away from the garage area. The CeX, well, actually doing a pretty good job of keeping exceL-Point pretty suppressed. They're holding passive angles. They're not really going for anything too risky or too fancy. Instead, it will just be, well, the first pick actually going in favor of CeX as JD takes down Laza. Jenko falls to Rezu as they do go aggressive, and they get punished for it as a result. Sliggy still back towards the radio room. We'll actually hear Rezu move himself away. Yeah, sight, and instead it will just be 5 on 3 for CeX. So they do look to take hold of it. Does look like A actually. 2 players stacking out towards the main area. LS goes aggressive, takes down Cryptic. Sliggy going to take down Glory C, but the 2 versus 4 that still favors CeX. Astro still going to be able to take one down through the gap in the 2 silos. And now Mighty Max is going to be left alone. A 1 on 3, and he won't be able to survive it. Rezu that picks up the kill. 2-1. CeX third.
And the kind of the beauty of this for CeX now is that they haven't just dismantled an opposition who can then go back into the buy, and usually what we expect moving away from the SMGs. What they've done is actually give themselves a huge standpoint off the early buy to go 2-2. Realistically, you look at exceL-Point and go, okay, this is a very weak force up at that. They've got a mag 7 on Cryptic, which in fair play to him, the shotgun is something and it's always an option on Nuke. But the rest of it, you know, P250s, you've got those one rifle and one SMG. It's very, very low for the CTs, and that could be a huge risk. That's something CeX is going to be happy as ever about, providing they can take advantage of it. Of course, that's always, you know, really where the actual drop can be low, but if you can't find your picks, then what is the point? The first buy round at least gives us an inkling, a taste, what we can expect from CeX. Look for their second, 5 flat rifles, utility all across the board. Play smart, use your smokes, use your flashes, clear out those angles. You see Astro just doing it right there, making sure there is no worm, no spy amongst their ranks. And backstab them right from behind as we talk about that. Laza is going to be there. A slight screw up. That's just the one frag. Quickly going to be handled though by Brody C.
CeX scrambling to try and trade that one back out. Like you said, Brody C managing to find the kill right there. But 4-on-4 situation, honestly, CeX need to be a little bit more leery of where they step, because it's situations like that that could cause them a lot of problems. As actually, it might cause them another one right there. I thought Cryptix had that shot with the Max 7. Not going to happen. Instead, it will be Rezu that picks him up with a nice headshot with the AK. Now, a 3 versus 4 situation. Almost a 3 versus 4. CeX will have an advantage, and they will make their way over towards the B site for this round. 25 seconds on the clock. Getting themselves down. Astro looking out the windows and allows the rest of the CeX team to get themselves in towards aggressive angles. There's still Mymax coming in from the back of the doors. Takes down LS. Trades onto one as well, and it's going to be 2 more kills coming in for the CT side. All on Rezu, who can't do anything. In this case, he'll take down Sliggy. And Mymax is there with the 3K to trade it right back out. 3-1 CeX. Close, but no cigar.
It's not the outcome that we remotely even expected to see, but it plays perfectly into the hands of exceL-Endpoint at this point. They get themselves that 3-1 round. CeX, they're not broken, they're not even kind of in the gutter, but it stings. It's like sort of kind of that itch that you can't quite get away. 3-1, not a huge gap, still so early in this matchup though. We don't want to get too far ahead of ourselves at all. But it is just Tech9s in play for CeX. They are going to have to go for that aggression, but Tech9s were still some of the best CS we've seen from them. So hopefully we can get that repeated on their T side of Nuke, as a nade is going to go out towards door, trying to clear the path. Potentially either straight through that vent or out towards the A side. Either or will work. Can they find the shot? So Cryptix going to find one. Brody C to find the second. Cryptix, though, is going to mow them down. A triple kill for him in this round. They still get a bomb plant, though. That is not going to be stopped. JD, the man to make that happen. The retake still on the cusp. Aggression from Brody C is well met by Sliggies. He's there ready and waiting. Picks up a double of his own. Team CeX. Well, a bomb plant is the minimum viable product. All they can achieve.
Well, at the very least, they'll have the extra economy going into the next one. So that's all right for them at the very most. But we are only seeing a pause coming out from JD, and okay, it does look like it was technical. LS did kind of disconnect for a quick second, but we'll be straight back into this one very, very quickly here. But yeah, no, they'll have the extra economy, which means they should be able to buy back into this one. And Astro going in with the SG again. This is very interesting because we saw him play this in the last couple maps, and we saw him do, well, mixed bag of results. But when he first brought that out over on Mirage, CeX got their round. So the question at the moment is he going to start leaning on this gun to try and help him out throughout the rest of the map? We'll have to find out very quickly. Other than that, AK-47s on the rest of the side of the CeX lineup. exceL-Endpoint going to be taking the M4s and the AWP, as it's going to be the execution on towards the A site. Rezu gets 2, Cryptix and Jenko, they fall. The bomb will get planted in CeX. Well, they have a decent chance here. This could very easily swing towards their favour, but if there's anything we know about exceL-Endpoint, it's the fact that they know how to retake, as JD and Rezu both fall. Astro at least going to get one back onto Lazo. It's a 3 versus 2 situation. A 2 versus 2 as Sliggy evens things up back to the favour of the exceL-Endpoint side. Astro gets Sliggy, but there is Mighty Max, quick to trade, quick to take the advantage, and quick to take the round. 5-1, exceL-Endpoint. Absolutely great retake coming from them.
Sliggy shouldn't be able to win those. It's not a matter of, you know, that they play bad or anything. They shouldn't allow Sliggy to be able to waltz in and win those fights. It's not just the reason why I say it's not that they just play bad is because, you know, on paper that's basically saying they couldn't hold the site, so that's, you know, narrates the bad. Is much more that it's not just one player, but it's the entire way that CeX position themselves. exceL-Endpoint take advantage of them every single time on these retakes. That needs to be fixed, otherwise they're out of this grand final. Done and dusted, 5-1. We said it was early, but now we're starting to build in this one. We're going into our 7th, nearly at the halfway mark for this first half, and, well, looking pretty bleak, but perhaps we can see something from CeX 4 rifles and singular Tech 9 they've got in this round at least. 20 on the clock, starting to build over towards Secret. That seems to be the source of aggression. Want to try and utilize. Too crazy to take place just yet.
Definitely CeX with a bit of a balked buy. Tech 9 on Astro, JD with the Galil, 3 AKs. Other than that, we more exceL-Point having the full M4 AWP buy up, which they will roll their way on through. To defend against CeX with Lazar going to get first onto Brody. Nicely played. I don't know why they're challenging over towards this hell position, because he's going to get himself a 2k, a 3k, as Cryptix will also be able to get Rezu. Meanwhile, on the other side of the map, and JD being left alone up towards heaven. No chance in hell of picking up this round. He'll get Cryptix, but that's about all he's going to find. 6-1. That was just a huge misstep from CeX, trying to push the AWP in hell. Why would you kind of do that?
There's so many questions to be asked, and they're kind of just playing into the arms of exceL-Endpoint. I think that's the easiest way to explain it. I found that you've almost been trying to put a phrase under it for the past couple of rounds. Both of us have scrambled for a few different options. Both of us have tried to justify it. But what it comes down to is Lazar being given an opportunity to stand there and just peek after peek after peek. It's like a not playing against Pistol. It shouldn't be happening. It should never be happening. Lazar is going to start off strong. Pistols this time around are all that can be brought to the table. And Ellis actually finding a frag in the process. But Cryptix is going to be down for a while to drop the bomb. Do more damage. Brody C going to end his teammate's life. Now that's just a little bit more awkward.
4 on 2. Oh, very nice shot from JD. At least picks 2 headshots, although Max is quick to shut it down and turn against JD. And Rezu shut them both out of the action pretty quickly here. exceL Endpoint going to be... Well, I think honestly the chat coming in from Majenko, you guys can't see it, but honestly, he's pretty accurate, isn't he? Just stick to pistols, because that's where CeX seem to be the most strongest here.
He's going for the flame, which is, again, that's the whole reason he's saying it, right? But it's not
He's
like
got
he's...
a point.
Yeah, it's not like it's completely without any truth to it. Unfortunately, it has been CeX better off with Tech 9s. I just don't know what's not working for them. I'm at the phase now where I want someone like SpeedyG back in here to really just kind of go, right, here's the drawing board, here's the map in front of you. This is why they're falling short, because it seems like just all across the board, they're losing duels everywhere. You know, we originally tried to justify it as that heaven peak, that hell peak. We looked towards outside and said, maybe they're weak towards outside, maybe that's an issue. But realistically, you could just go, okay, every situation, everything we've just said gets answered by one simple equation. exceL-Endpoint out-aim Team CeX.
Definitely, that's 100%. And it was like your use of realistically, so I want SpeedyG back, so...
I know, right? Realistically speaking, it'd be so good to have him here.
Indeed. But he's not here, so we're just taking you through this one as the 2 pairing here. 5 on 5 still coming in, although bargain of kills coming on through. Sliggy and Mighty Max, Astro and Brody C all getting 2 kills between themselves. 3 versus 3 here. Going to be moving on through for the CeX. So they've actually dropped the bomb on the CT side. Fortunately, Astro managed to pick up a Sliggy's 1 HP situation. He can fall very, very easily. AWP out of play if exceL-Endpoint can pick that one up. The smoke is going to clear, and LS will try and back him up from the squeaky door. 2 on 3. All favors towards the CeX side. Although Mighty Max has got a very interesting position here.
Not only an interesting position, but look. Oh, well, look at what he's got. The Molotov. The reason that is so crucial is if he uses that right. Well, the HP of Astro, the HP of LS is all but crucial. Lazar had a shot on towards Brody C, takes him down. Molotov becomes even more effective. Even a singular tick will take Astro down, but he's got that AWP. He wants that first shot. He's holding an angle. He's waiting to see, will he be gifted a frag just like a Guardian Angel? He waits, and there he gets it. The first peak to roll on through. Mighty Max will look to bring this one back, catches him off guard, gets the first. Now looking for just the final one needed. LS will draw further back into the room, not quite going to shut the door, making it rather obvious his position. Max is going to face this one, but the jump is going to take him home. 7 HP is all that he has, but 7 HP is enough to get CeX a second round.
The question of the moment is, can they string it together? There's one thing I've noticed with CeX as well, is that they can get individual rounds, they can't string them together. They seem to have a lot of trouble during this series to try and get those consecutive ones, and this could be easy reset potential for exceL-Point. This could be very easy for them to be able to take their half and then take a nice advantage going into the next one, because, well, CeX will be up for the reset here. They've got virtually no money, vice versa actually, so it could be really be a great opportunity for either team. So this is going to be a very crucial round for both the CTs and the Ts. CeX getting themselves outside aggression this time, up towards the top of Silo and over on the outside area. And they've got themselves an AWP as well from Astro. Perfect, great for them. He's been playing that very well over the course of these past couple of maps. exceL-Endpoint, though, they're not going to have an AWP on their own right. 3 M4s and 2 UMPs, which overall, actually, I'd say that's not even a bad buy in its own right.
Yeah, certainly can agree. And an interesting point here is the lack of confidence from this T side to push outside. They don't even want to face it. Like, that's certainly an avenue they tried to explore and it got shut down with, so now they just don't want to touch it. And that already proves just kind of how dominant exceL are being. Push towards ramp, however, could be very, very fruitful, providing they play their cards right. They're going aggressive. This is the right approach. Cut them down. Be unexpected. Don't play like so scripted. Genko waiting for a ladder push, but even that isn't going to take hold. This is by far the best round we've seen from CeX in this game. Is anything going to come of it? So far, not looking so good. Cryptix is going to be there to put a nail in the coffin. Brody see though popping off with just another headshot. Buys them more time, but Mighty Max in towards Vents finds a crucial frag as it brings it back to a 2 versus 3. But unfortunately, Sliggy falling to the hand of Astro's AWP. It's look much more realistic that CeX are about to get themselves their 3rd round on the board.
And finally they do. Finally they string together a couple. Finally they come up with what could be an opening chance here, because not only do they string together several rounds, they start building economy, they also completely wreck the economy of exceL-Point. Talked about how both teams are on the cusp of being reset, and now it will be exceL-Point's time to be on the pistols, on the eco. For, well, the first time in at least a very long time this series here. Mighty Max holding back, looking to potentially pick up a couple of X's, and he might just be gifted the chance here. He's holding back towards T-Spawn, picks up JD. Astro, don't go aggressive, my friend. You've got no health. Fortunately, LS will be there, so CeX the round will be made expensive for them. They will take their 3rd, and exceL-Endpoint will be on the pistols.
Yeah, now it's kind of them. They're the team on the rear end of this, right? CeX, they've been presented an opportunity. It's like someone up there has decided to say, right, CeX, you've been playing terribly, but here's your chance. Here's your one chance to prove that you can play this one. 7-3. It should be 7-4. From there, they can fight, and they can fight very, very hard and really make something out of this T-side. Because bear in mind, this is still Nuke. So there is that side element that rolls on through. So 3 rounds, turn it into 5. I'm not too disappointed. Either way. It's going to be a full buy versus just USPs, just CZs, just P250s. It should be impossible. It should be an open and shut case. Some early damage is going to be done, but it's nothing too crazy. The entire CT side practically all facing towards that side, all tapping towards Silo. Brody C, looking to have those stats, looking to get himself some picks, but actually decides to fall off, realizes that perhaps facing after all, although he might get some frags, it's also a bit of a double-edged sword as he could fall. A bit more awkward. Minute on the clock. T-side, just get that bomb down. Get yourself onto the site. Don't lose anyone.
Indeed, CeX doing good work in this anti-eco, and fortunately an anti-eco that hasn't gone horribly wrong for them. Of course, I might end up, Caster's Curse, I might end up eating my words in about 2 seconds, but exceL-Point will still go in for the retake anyway. Mighty Max tag down, gets taken down. Cryptix also in a very similar situation. JD gets Lazar. And exceL-Point, well, right now looking, well, pretty awful. Oh no, do not do this right now. Fortunately, no, Cryptix does take one down, but even so, beat 7-4 the CeX side. I thought for a second that there would have been 2 frags going against CeX, which honestly I would have been super disappointed in, but I haven't checked that corner.
Yeah, for sure. I certainly can resonate with the idea of him wanting a knife as well. I feel like that would have been kind of his overall game plan there, but just a tiny little peek from behind as the angles were checked meant that unfortunately he had to shoot prematurely with his P250, and that doesn't lead to too many rewards after all. No real impact to be had. Of course, 7-4 scoreline. CeX starting to fight, but we saw this once. Now we're getting completely blown over. Quick double kill by Lazar. LS is going to respond. There pops up with a double of his own, looking now for a triple. Mighty Max getting himself up on towards ladder. He could present himself wide open. To be taken down by LS if he consistently goes for that push. Shady, another headshot on towards Lazar. Astro in the shadows waiting for Sliggy, and this is good. This is a nice adaptation, but Astro, he misses the shot. He gives exceL an opportunity.
3 versus 2 now. CeX will get themselves a bomb down on the B site. Good stuff. Astro spots him out. This was a shot again. His AWP play has been awful this one. 3rd time. Sliggy's going to take him down. It's a 2 versus 2. JD spraying on through. Trying to see if he can get himself the wallbanger. And finally, we're able to pick up Sliggy off a huge spray down. But Mighty Max comes in from the side. He doesn't see it coming. And LS will have to defend, and he will do so. 7-5, but that was a round that fell apart so quickly for CeX. And it was all thanks to Astro just not being able to play the AWP in the way that we expect to see.
At this point, though, 13th round, you're back at that kind of extension of exceL-Endpoint not being able to do anything. The whole kind of legend of them being able to consistently buy is gone. Pistols.
CeX. Take a look at this setup right here. 2 AWPs, Astro and LS. We haven't seen this much out of them very much this series, but we can actually see how well this might be able to do it with them. Fortunately, exceL-Endpoint, they're on an eco, only on pistols for this one, but this is a very interesting setup because when you've got Astro, who's not performing with the AWP in the way that you would expect to be, how much help can this kind of setup really bring to the table? As JD will go down, but he's going to be able to trade for Jenko, but he's not expecting Cryptics. Won't shut him down. We're back to a 3-on-3, and once again, these anti-ecos for CeX, they seem to be falling apart very, very quickly now. They're going to be challenging on towards the A side. Lazar spots them out. Going to be LS coming in from the top with the AWP. And once he sees them, it will be challenging away with the Tech 9 sprays and just spams away with the tapping. Cryptics falls, Lazar falls. And now it's going to be all on Mighty Max. 1 versus 3. And actually will take down LS, so they will lose the investment. He's still got to try and challenge onto 2 more. Actually takes Rezu down to just 2 HP, so he's doing an alright job. And Astro once again whiffs a shot, but it will be the kill that comes in. And this AWP cannot be recovered for CeX, so investment gone. And we're talking about that setup. I think it actually ended up poorly for the CeX side.
Astro's not having a good game either, is he? Really struggling to hit those shots. He's had some good work here and there, but I'd say most of it's been without the AWP. So hopefully he can step up more than likely in this second half. I think the immediate future is just about them closing out these rounds, and I'm not sure how much that AWP is going to be part of things. The Molotov is going to find its way already down into hut. CD side looking to really secure things, and for Nuke, this is looking so much better for CeX. I think that has to be said, right? 6 rounds on the T side there. They're happy as anything.
AWP in play for Astro again. I'm quite questionable to this kind of setup, honestly. I would put it in the hands of LS because he did pretty nicely in the last round, of course, with the exception of the one fluff up with the Tech 9. So 7-6 now. CeX looking to tie things up against exceL-Endpoint. They haven't got themselves an AWP. And well, it looks like they're being a little bit more confident towards the outside. They'll smoke things up, although it's going to be just a fake as well. It looks like people are going to be trying to watch out for the outside pushes coming through. 5-5, no picks coming in. Sliggy's still watching ramp. I think he might spot out some people as they do decide to push on the radio room. He's got the small, he's got angles to hold, and he will pick and tag onto Rezu. Nicely done there. We'll just back off, not taking a chance and just trying to get himself back into a good position where he can defend the site here. Over towards that Toxic over there. Mighty Max gets JD. Nicely done, and Sliggy, one taps, takes down Rezu, looking for a little bit more. Brody will take him out in the action. 3 versus 4 situation. Cryptics rotating in over towards the squeaky door, spots out LS, sprays him down and denies that bomb plant. It's falling apart big time for the T side. A 4-on-2 situation that CeX need to recover from. They got to get the bomb down somewhere else. And Cryptics is going to peek again, try see if he can take it out. He will do so. Bomb plant denied twice in a row. Endpoint, exceL-Endpoint, they have their half, and CeX, the economy looks dire for the end of this half.
Dire indeed, 8-6 now. Questioning to see kind of whether CeX can still get that 7th. By the way, I still am okay with 6 personally. I feel like just touching on the whole Astro comment, because that is always going to be something that I feel like is going to be a hot topic of convention. I would counter the point of saying take it out of his hands, right? Because I feel like if you take the AWP out of your main AWPer's hands, you're basically throwing away your confidence in him as a player. And that could make him actually fall off the wagon even worse. So hopefully he can improve, but I feel like improvement is better than just kind of sacking him straight off the bat. But varying opinions, varying options, and that's the beauty of this game. Liggy gonna look for some frags over towards ramp, but early days just yet. CeX a lot more bunched up. Grounded. Still looking for the same old point of vulnerability. This CT side, Brody C. Big 3-man unit, in fact. All trying to push in. That site. This door could be a very big point of contention. Cryptics is going to be there with the M4 to unload his magazine, but only able to find himself one. Is that going to be enough? Well, with Jenko from above, yes, it will be. He is raining down havoc right now, making it work. Drops on down. Can he punish Astro? Yes, he can. A great frag from him. 1 versus 1, JD. Looking to find the shot, has the height advantage. And finds the headshot. Team CeX, 7-8 half. Much, much better. Stringing together a huge 5 rounds really helps them turn what was an abysmal half back into something actually workable in the second half now. They are not out of this one. Definitely not.
CeX seems to have a lot of trouble getting started on most of these maps. You know, like, I'm impressed that they managed to come back in this many times, but, you know, like, obviously this is probably going to be a sign of a great matchup that we could probably have here on the on the nuke map. So here we are. Second half going to be CT side for CEX, T side for exceL-Endpoint. I would like to point out that this best of 5 series, it is actually 2-1 in the favor of exceL-Endpoint. I can see that it's clearly not been updated on the server, but yeah, the pistol vibe is going to come on through, and already it'll be Jenko picking up the first onto Astro, shuts him down. No defuse kit on the side for CEX, and now it's going to have to be the retake that they have to pay attention to, and that's already gone tragically wrong, as it will be Cryptix and Mighty Max picking up 2 more. Brody C and LS, last 2 alive here on the CEX side. 4 players to find, and a very difficult retake has to come in.
Indeed, they have their work cut out for them. These pistols are going for a push. LS to tap on towards one, takes down Slee, looking now to tame the dragon. As Cryptix is going to be there to tap block. He's going to find the headshot, but he doesn't need to. He's be aided by Lazza to shut them down. CX will lose that first pistol round. exceL-Endpoint into strike on forward. This is their marching ground now. The song is being hummed away. 9-7. They want to take this back to 11-7, and from there, side is going to be very, very difficult, because as much as Nuke is that kind of back and forth map, and the sides is always a bit of a contestable topic, are we looking at the old Nuke from Source, or are we looking at the current kind of new form where things are a little bit more balanced? But either way, balance is one thing, but when you look at these guys on paper, this T-side are great aimers, and that's always been the strength in this series for them, up against the likes of CEX. Just pistols in this one, P250s. You see CX with a shot. I see just value. I see dollar bills.
I definitely think so. I think that there's at least a chance here to do some serious damage to the exceL-Endpoint side. We've seen them work well with pistols in the past. And I'll keep bringing that up because, honestly, that's how they like to play here. There's still going to be a bomb plant coming out from exceL-Endpoint. I don't think they can win this round. But the least they can try and hope for is trying to do some damage to the T side. In this case, it is all going to be all for naught here. A 10-7 situation that favours the exceL-Endpoint side. And, well, CEX up for yet another eco, in this case on their CT. I think that's pretty standard stuff. I think we were expecting that to be the case. So, exceL-Endpoint will buy back 4 AKs, 5 AKs. UMP actually out for Sliggy instead. So, CEX will probably lose his next one as well. 11-7 looks to be my predicted scoreline for the next round.
Yeah, it looks to be. Good old Faithful is coming on true, and how fortunate for the boys at CX right now. Money being made yet again. The dollar bills are flashing in front of my eyes. The Sliggy making hella money. He is eventually going to get taken down though by LS. This team CX out there, sword and shield. Still looking to keep the dream intact with these pistols, and fair play to them. They brought it back to a 3 versus 3. The impact is still ever so pleasant. Brody C going to continue his tap, finds himself another, so that's already huge now for the CTs. But 2 versus 2 aside, take a look at CX's economy. They can still replenish this. It might not be hugely stacked up in the $10,000 or so. Still is replenishable. Either way, though, back to the 2 versus 2 in play. No Kevlar on the CT side. Makes things actually a little bit difficult as these rifles, well, not even rifles, just Mighty Max, takes advantage of them. Very wholesome. It is going to be 11-7, but this is the response. This is the big round. You know, ignore that last round. Ignore the past few. This is the big one, because if CX lose this, it sets in tone that entire momentum-based streak that exceL-Endpoint are dearly requesting.
Yeah, definitely. CEX up for a chance here to shut that down before it begins. And their CT half needs to come to a grind here. It needs to come up to a good chance. Here we go. It's going to be Cinder, or Rezu, excuse me. That's going to spot out 2. Sprays them down. LS picks up Lazza as well. Mighty Max equipped. It's going to be the last 2 alive, and CEX clean this up absolutely fantastically. Incredible stuff. 2K for Rezu, and Cryptix just alone. No bomb. No chance here. 1 versus 5. It looks like it's going to be all over for the exceL-Endpoint side for this round. He was challenging onto JD, but JD has his number. Will shut him down very easy. Rezu.
Just wanted to end it all towards the end of that. Why not? Just dropping off the ladder, unfortunately.
So much to live for.
Yeah, just it's a bit of an awkward one, really. Not really much to say. 11-8, though, and the crucial round swings in favour. The team that desperately needed it, to be honest. Let's be real here. CX, they needed something. They've been thrown a bone. But how many times have we been in now? I feel like I've said this, what, 9 times in this series? I've been like the whole, yeah, CX have got an opportunity, it's their time to shine, and then they just get wrecked in the follow-up round. So I'm just all eyes on players like Jenko to see, okay, are you going to pop off in the rest round? And that's already a great little shot. It's simple CS, that's one that falls into his favour. Brody C trying to play off this box, finds himself a very acute double kill. But this T side are still taking the jewels. They're still confident. They still want the trades.
plays is something they might be able to get. JD on 11 HP will have to back off. There's going to be players going to see the inside, challenging towards the outside, still trying to push exceL-Point back. 4 versus 2. LS gets Sliggy. It's going to be Mightymax that finds out JD, and the grenade coming in from Cryptix will take down Brody C. 2 versus 1. Rezu gets Mightymax, and now Cryptix all alone. 1 versus 2 situation. Bomb in hand, so this is very doable for the exceL-Point side. But as you were saying about, well, how CeX usually gets shut down after you make a mention that how they could have a good chance here. I mean, it's still doable. It's still very doable for either side at this point. And exceL-Endpoint don't have Cryptix in play. They still have a bomb in play. They still have 40 seconds on the clock to get this one down and potentially still one away from CeX. But CeX, they have also got 2 players on their side. So it's going to be a little bit difficult. Bit of a statement.
One issue could be Team CeX are giving Cryptix a 1 versus 1s. Just looking at their current positions anyhow. They banked on this A side being taken. Cryptix, he's walking over towards B. Smoke has gone down and he shall plant. He's back, looking again for now 1 versus 1s. Has he heard the drop? So he's definitely heard the noise coming behind him. Molly's off towards vent. Tries to really force the hand of them, saying, you know, dive down the stairs. You know you need to. But he gets the 1 versus 1 right up there. But LS is just that a little bit close enough. Got a spindle around. Get the return frag. CeX, they are still swinging. They are still fighting. It is alive. 9-11.
Dream will stay alive for the CeX side to win the Epic Land Grand Finals. We still have to get this one, and then our 4th map here, our final map here, in our best of 5 series. exceL-Endpoint, after that loss of that round, they'll have a bit of a balked economy, and they're going to have an AK, a couple of UMPs, and Tech 9s out for their side versus CeX, who have the full AWP and M4 buy up with the well, with lots of utility and the likes to go around here. It should be on paper, it should be a round that CeX can be able to win, but we'll find out how well exceL-Endpoint managed to respond here. Early aggression and early tag damage over towards JD on the CeX side. Nicely done from exceL-Endpoint at least. We'll push him back towards a more passive hold, but CeX, they're holding very nice angles, which they've been able to work well with these rifles. So you are asking, where are these rifles? Why aren't they still using pistols? Well, they finally started to come into their own. It will be Sliggy challenging onto 1 back towards the vent area, but he's not going to find anything.
Battle is going to be taken by Rezu. He's trying to pull up ahead of this one, but it's not quite landing. He's being pushed on down, and he will fall. LS is going to secure the trade. However, Brody coming in from above, uses M4 to advantage. Constant trades, constant back and forth swing. This round is a seesaw. Jenko over towards the site, though, secures 1, and a very important frag at that with the Molotov. But Astro, again with the AWP, starts to hit these shots, but he's in a 1 versus 1 up against Jenko that he will lose. JD, it's all on him for the CT side. And he'll net it. Great frag from him. Great closer for the CeX side. And 1 step further into this best of 5. 1 step equalizing things. 11-11. Look at the economy of exceL-Endpoint. They can't afford anything in this round. It's pistols yet again. Yes, they are backed by Kevlar, of course. You know, you look at their economy, that certainly can afford it. But that's it.
I mean, this could so easily swing right about now here. CeX, great buy, UMP on the board, but M4's other than that, so they've got themselves up with a chance here. Meanwhile, exceL-Endpoint, like you said, only pistols for this round, but we've seen how deadly those Tech 9s can be on both teams. So if CeX fluff this anti-eco, this could spell bad times for the rest of their CT half here. 11-10. Close as chips, as it will be Cryptix that starts things off with a 1D onto Brody. That's not how you want to start things at all if you are CeX. And now Jenko's going to see if he can find Rezu. You're going to go aggressive. Why? You gave him the 1v1. He took a very nice headshot. He wasn't even looking in the right direction. A 5-on-3 situation. JD trying to make it a little bit less pressurizing to his team. Sliggy goes falling a 4-on-3. Excuse me. That still favours the exceL-Endpoint side, and they're going to get that bomb down. CeX have to retake him with JD on 22 HP, 4-on-3. This is going to be so difficult, and the worst part about it is that CeX, it didn't need to be this way.
CeX, they're playing the plot line of Far Cry at this point. Stuck on an island, left in insanity, being taught the definition. Try the same thing. Cryptix punish JD even further. How are these pistols? How was this play this far into a round? LS will find himself 1 headshot, but is that going to be enough? He's in a 1 versus 3, converts it on its head to a 1 versus 2, but a bomb that is going to keep on ticking. It's not going to stop for no man. There is nothing he can do about it. He is sandwiched by Cryptic's exceL-Endpoint. How are they getting away with these rounds? Crucial rounds at that 12 to 10. And the reason it's so crucial, not just for the sake of it being that, because CeX, they have no money left. They are broke as anything. 1,950, 2,850. This pretty much should be 13-10J. And that is too close for my liking. Because this right here is right where we stand. The crowned our LAN final winners of Epic 20.
I don't want to say a double eco. I think it could go 14-10, honestly, because
I don't even want to imagine that.
I think honestly, I don't think we have to. I don't think we have a choice. I think we're about to experience it because CeX after this, they lose it. $1,400 in the bank. They haven't got enough money to buy back into another round unless they want to try for a force. Which, well, I'm not sure how keen they are on doing so. It's going to be Pistols, literally zero investment into this round for the CT side here. USPs and P2Ks out for everybody on CeX. Mighty Max holding back, expecting some backstabs to come in. More challenge, takes down one, tags down another. As JD, Astro and Brody C doing 2 picks will actually turn it back into a 3-on-3.
It's going to be here and there. Jenko going to be there to hold on to the angle. Molotov forced them off bit by bit. Lazar going to be there to hold as well. Being spread a little bit thin. Rezu is going to take full advantage. But how far is this going to go? LS, his work is cut out for him, and I can't help but look at Jenko and go, you know what, is there too much excitement in this 1 versus 1? The angles are being taken, but he is running out of time. He needs to find the frag, and Jenko is getting away with it. He is running riot with his peaks. There is no response from CeX in that round. They get a pick on 4 of their players, but ultimately it comes down to a lackluster set. The hold on that B site and a retake on that B site that was also pretty poor. It's all or nothing at this point. They need something. It's desperate. 24th round, 13-10. exceL-Endpoint are about to take this one.
They're about to win this one big time. CeX, they're playing for our final map. They're playing to try and to make it a deciding factor later on down the line. Not to lose at Nuke with 2-1 up to the exceL-Endpoint side. I know it says differently on the server, but trust me, it is 2-1 to the favor of our T side at the present point. CeX, they're going to force buy. They're going to see if they can try and get together something in this next round, because right now, this may be all or naught for the CT. It's going to be Astro and JD trying to set up a crossfire. JD's going to get one. Astro going to spray onto 2. Can't land any more than that, but they take the advantage to the exceL-Endpoint side. 2 players tagged down to 17 and 6 on Mighty Max and Sliggy, respectively. And now they're going to make their way back over to the B side, a B side where they've been so strong on this T side. Brody making his way down towards the doors, ready to peek out if that bomb does go down. Sliggy, 1 shot, 1 kill is all he's going to need, as it will be planting down right here. That door's going to open. It's actually going to go up towards the window. Instead, Mighty Max takes him down. And CeX, they crumble once again. LS for the clutch or kick. The clutch or death. The clutch or second place in this case for CeX. He will peek his way out through the door. Sliggy spots him out, tags him up. He's tapping away, expecting him to come through. He's got no defuse kit either. And for CeX, this is such a tragic round as Lazar closes it out. And LS cannot walk any further. CeX back to pistols, back to nothing at this point.
I hear you like clutches, Jay, judging by that round. You're a big fan of clutches, huh?
I am.
Fortunately, CeX, they're not doing it for you. They're not making it happen. It is looking rougher and rougher by the second. We are just 2 rounds away, potentially, from crowning our LAN champions. Just let that sink in for a second. 2 rounds away, and CeX feel like they were so close. Now they have so far to run. They're up against Mount Everest all over again. How are they going to get away from this? Pistols is all they could afford. JD going to be able to CT to tap long range. Just looking brutal and brutal by the second. Even this round has its importance to it, because CeX, they can't do anything here. They are fighting for overtime. Brody pick up 1 tapping. There's a very likely chance of taking the life of Jenko as well, which he shall do. Sliggy just 4 HP. This isn't impossible.
You know, the bomb's also been dropped. CEX, they haven't necessarily got control of it. Actually, I think they do. I think it's been dropped on the site itself. So, actually, this could be a very good eco if they can hold out these angles. It will be Mighty Max flashing his way on through. Astro's going to take the kill with the P250. Sliggy there onto Broisi. He's only got 4 HP. Whereas he's going to hear this footstep. He's going to hear that drop. And CEX, against all the odds, will come back into it for the last chance of their lives. 14-11. They're fighting for first place. They're fighting for that fourth map. 14-11. exceL will buy back into this one. CEX with a buyback of their own. The AWP still on Astro. I'm so concerned to how this one is going to play out for the whole comp. We will see. This round is going to pretty much decide it if CEX lose it. 14-11 eco if exceL win it. 15-11 match point, series point, tournament point. And then they'll be able to take it over the edge. Right now, CEX will set themselves up outside towards the silo boost. Oh, sorry, Endpoint will set themselves up towards the silo boost. Excuse me. I get my blues and my oranges very, very wrong indeed.
It's all that aside, it's time for CeX to make some history. Bring it back. Start fighting. Show us that vibe that you showed us throughout the elimination bracket. Played so well in the semi-finals. Just needs a little bit more of that oomph. That extra step in this series. So far, it has been very, very rough. For a couple of good rounds, but a couple of good, quickly outweighed. Large variety of bad. Cryptics with the Tech 9 close range on towards Brody C. A one-man disadvantage falls into place. Mighty Max another on towards JD. Is this actually happening? Astro, he's going to be right behind his T-side. He sandwiches him with the AWP, and Orb is going to roll on through as he finds the no-scope. Mighty Max playing on around this one. He's got the rifle, holds on towards Vent, gets himself one, looking to go double down now if he can get this frag. This is practically done and dusted. It's all on LS, all on Astro. A player who's been struggling to hit shots, trying to step up now, trying to do everything he can to make it happen for his team. He's trying to stick the defuse, but Jenko is going to be there to find the headshot. LS, a 1 versus 2 now. This is a clutch in the making. Goes to the shot through the door, tags him down, but 27 HP is not quite enough. LS, he has to recede. He has to back off. exceL-Endpoint, they wreck CeX in terms of their economy. They wrecked them in this round. A nice little attempt by Astro. He certainly did put up one hell of a fight with his AWP. But in the end, exceL-Endpoint on 15 rounds, on series point, on LAN winning point. CeX, well, they're going to get one rifle. One rifle.
This is absolutely tragic. CEX fought so hard all the way through the upper bracket, and now they're about to lose 3 consecutive maps against the exceL-Endpoint side. They're at tournament point, like you said, and now they'll only have one rifle to work with. This is going to be a difficult round to keep together, as it will be exceL-Endpoint, Mighty Max, and Chenko chiming onto 2 players, JD, Rezu, and LS now. The last hope, the last chance, the last spark of the light for CEX to take the LAN championships. It is not going to be a pretty sight, as we do see exceL-Endpoint getting their way all the way to the CT portion of the map, all the way back up to CT spawn, in towards heaven, in towards hell. And CEX, they are so scrambled right now. They don't even know what to make of this thing. There's a minute to go now. exceL-Endpoint, plenty of time to work with, plenty of space to work with, and CEX will start chiming on through. It's going to be Laza first pick onto JD as they do peek their way out of secret. Second one is it will get tagging away. It will be Rezu that picks up Laza. It's a 2-on-4 situation, but it doesn't favour them at all as LS goes falling all onto Rezu. A 1 versus 4 clutch. The rifle versus the AKs, and the UMPE gets tagged up, and so they're down to 21 HP. It looks like it's going to be all over for him. No chance to hell. He peeks out towards heaven, goes challenging, and ladies and gentlemen, we have it. exceL-Endpoint will be your pick 20 CSGO